Well, let's welcome in Mr. V.S. Parthasarathy. He's the president of Mobility Services Sector. Mr. Parthasarathy, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Buy Now, Sell Now. Before we get to the key development in question, want to understand how have things transpired for you ever since you've transitioned into the new role. It's been a little over 6 months, I believe, and lots has happened in the industry, in the company, in terms of disruptions and several positive updates.
Yeah. Thank you, and always nice to be on the show. Your question is very, very apt. You know, this pandemic has been difficult in many ways, but has been opportunistic in many other ways. I've shifted over to a fully business role, and I'm delighted to share that two of the businesses that I'm looking, which is the first choice, aftermarket auto tech and the used car space. We are looking at one unicorn, which is the $1 billion market cap company, what Mahindra is also calling as its future, one of the future 10 gems. And the other one is in terms of mobility, which is another big bet, shared mobility solutions. So both of them are, coming along very well. The third part, which is Mahindra Logistics, is in fact gained a lot because in this pandemic, if there is one thing which is at the base of the economy, it is transportation and logistics solutions. So I must say I'm doing our business are doing pretty well in this environment, and I'm delighted to be in this role.
Right. So let's talk about the announcement. What is the kind of share swap transaction that you've entered into with the TVS Automobile Solution companies? And if one were to ask, how do you foresee Mahindra First Choice Services sort of grow and transform from here on? How do the synergies pan out?
Yeah, thank you very much. And it's very important. Just a little bit back off before I straight answer your question. The services, aftermarket services, which is the, used car services as it's called, has been a very fragmented, informal economy. So, and Mahindra had come out with saying that how can we organize this and how can we find solutions for the customer for their servicing needs. And we had set up, therefore, this MFCs, the services wing. And we must say that we are delighted that both our franchisee dealers and for customers, we have found value proposition. And we've come to a stage where all of them are doing well. And now we need to look at how do we get into the next orbit. And that is where we need scale, we need consolidation, we need digital environment to help this, and we need supply chain benefits. So TVS brings all this so that together this First Choice Service and TVS can form a partnership which can lead the aftermarket service into the next orbit. And that's what is being contemplated to this. So we are seeking, as we did in the case of CIE for spare parts, or in the case of in retail, we are seeking a partner who can help take this to the next orbit. And this is what the deal is. We are, now TVS will be in the driver's seat in this, and we will take a minority stake in the overall TASL organization. This is what it is. And I want to clarify and also be very clear. This is the services parts. What I told you earlier, which is First Choice Wheels, which is the aftermarket auto tech and auto company. That one will very much on schedule to be a unicorn for the Mahindra Group, and Mahindra remains majority owner of that and will continue to do so.
You have very ambitious plans and targets laid out, Mr. Parthasarathy. Any timelines as well that you could be looking at?
Yeah, very clearly medium term, madam. The next 3 to 5 years, we should be planning at least one, if not two IPOs. And one of them will be we are hoping will be the First Choice Wheels, which is our auto tech and used car sale company.
Ask Karunya to
Okay, Mr. Parthasarathy, also want to understand, the divestment or the deal that you've sort of worked out with TVS. It seems like it's part of the ongoing capital allocation review exercise. Do you have similar plans for other businesses under the mobility services and mobility solutions ambit?
Yeah. So First Choice Services needed a consolidation game plan, and that's what we have done, and therefore that segment is done. Now let me come about what are the other things which are remaining. First is Mahindra Logistics, which is a listed company, and we think it will go from places to places, very much under the Mahindra umbrella. The second is in terms of First Choice Wheels, which is what I called as the auto tech and used vehicle company. This is another unicorn bet that Mahindra is taking in the medium term. And I said, you said the ambitious plan. Yes, we have ambitious plan that in the medium term we can go for IPO there. The third is mobility as a solution. Here as well, we have very large plans for Mahindra Group to be there. So all the other three, we will drive them towards value creations under the Mahindra umbrella.
All right. And what about the core business and recovery? Are you focusing still on tightening capital allocation further, which of course will be a great re-rating trigger for the company and the stock price? But what's happening, if you could give us some color?
Yeah. So I think I, as the mobility sector president, can talk to you about mobility. When you talk about the group as a whole, we must all have the discipline to be, talking about our own avenues. So I'm sure this is a question which is for Dr. Anisha, who is the Deputy MD and Group CFO, and he can answer that. But I think he has already made his statements in the press very clear. So I think we are going in the right direction on that path. That's what I can say.
Okay, just one very quick question before we let you go. What is the plan to sort of turn around the business for Mahindra First Choice, make it profitable? Are there any goals or any timelines you're sort of eyeing for a turnaround of the company and the business?
Yeah, let me talk about Mahindra First Choice Wheels, because the just First Choice is a little misleading. So the First Choice Wheels are the used car business or used car vehicle business and tech business is break even and profitable. Okay, so there is no problem as far as profitability is concerned. What we need to do is to grow, and we are growing in three segments, as I said. The first segment is where we are helping the enterprises with the solution. Let's say all finance companies have vehicles which they repossess, which they want to store, which they want to sell, everything. So enabling this entire enterprise. This is a business which is doing very well and is slated to go leaps and bounds as we partner with these institutions. The second part of the business is retail. We have more than 1,000 outlets now, and through the digital means, we are strengthening to be able to do that. And again, we are just in the start part of this, and therefore a huge value accretion should come in this area. The third is forming a digital platform, which then puts all of these together and more. We're calling this Car and Bike, which is the brand name there, is taking this, what they are doing on research into a platform mode, and that should be the third plank that we should do. All in all, this is a very exciting journey, and I will be very happy to talk to you all periodically in terms of the development that are happening. But we are profitable in that business, and we intend to grow very, very rapidly, and hopefully over a midterm period, be an IPO candidate for the Mahindra Group.
Wow, that's great news, Mr. Parthasarathy. And finally, I know you are restricted to your own business verticals that you're looking at the moment, but as an industry insider, as a key stakeholder who's been actively participating and actively observing the key changes within the automotive space, What is your assessment of the pace of recovery? Do you think it's a genuine demand that's kicking back in, or is it a result of pent-up sort of demand that is playing itself out and could see some flattening over the next couple of months?
Yeah, okay. So I think I can start by saying that the used car market is a very good indicator of how much there is excitement in the market. And, we were being a little bit struggling to meet all the demand because of the supply side constraints, because of the moratorium repossessions were at a standstill. If I take that as a bellwether or as a reader of what the industry is, I think the demand is very much there. And the festivities have also come in to help that demand argumentation. So I think we are truly on a even keel, and I think I keep referring to a 3-speed economy, which is 60, 100, and 140. Some are doing at 140, some are doing 100, and some are struggling because of the pandemic. So I would put auto sector clearly at the positive end of this whole spectrum in terms of speed economy, a speed business.
Always lovely to hear from you, Mr. Parthasarathy. Very good insights and trends shared by you, and of course, all of the details that you shared on the latest partnership with TVS, latest deal with TVS Auto Solutions. Thank you so much once again for joining us. The stock in the meantime has recovered about by 3 to 4 rupees a piece, continues to, however, trade flat, but the silver lining is it was down about 0.4% when we started the conversation. Right now, it's completely flat in trade. So some recovery seen there. Slipping into a break here. Plenty more on the other side. Stay tuned.